Yes, guys, welcome back to Spurs Live. We are joined with Gareth from Spurs News in 17. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Josh. How are you, mate?
All good, all good. Well, look, guys, this is a very not a sad video because I think this is what was gonna happen at the end of the day. Lucas Moura is gonna be leaving Tottenham Hotspur at the end of the season. Gareth, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's the correct decision.
Yeah,
So obviously it's sad to see him go because I could probably speak for every Spurs fan. He'll be a player that will always be remembered for the Amsterdam, probably the best game of in my lifetime, and
100%.
I'm sure for a lot more. But I think it's the right decision. Time's come.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I think we don't want him to stay to see a what's the saying, to see a villain or something like that. You get me? And I think towards the end we really started to see the lack of goals. I mean, we can start off by saying his best season was by far the 18-19 Champions League. Obviously, the immaculate hat trick of his for Tottenham Hotspur versus Ajax. Let's just do a throwback to that game. I mean, I remember me going into that game. I was like, obviously going to support the boys and everything, but I don't think we're going to pass the line. What was going through your head at that moment, going
Oh
2-0
mate,
down?
hence the smile. Like every time I think about it, it's like it happened yesterday. It's so vivid in my memory that it's a game I'll never ever ever forget. I remember I was at home, I was watching it, and I remember even feeling the going, oh no, we're so close and we're gonna get
Yeah,
knocked out. And then I still remember um that flick from Deli Alley.
brilliant.
And yeah, I remember it. And mate, I won't lie to you, I was running up and down like an absolute nutter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like people were looking at me, my missus like, what's going on? And I had my shirt off, I was waving around like a flag. Um, oh mate, honestly, it's just genuinely the best match I've ever watched. The
Yeah.
emotions was just, it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
It's so hard to describe how
Yeah,
the feeling was because I mean, even me talking about it now for goosebumps. Honestly,
yeah,
it
you
was
know.
honestly one of probably the best. Oh yes, the best comeback, the best game I've seen of Tottenham Hotspur. But look, he scored 5 goals in that Champions League um, career at in 18-19. He scored 10 Premier League goals. That's not a joke. 10 Premier League goals for what? How old is he? Like 30 years old back then. I think he had a very, very good season 18-19. Then we go to 19-20, a slight drop off. We have 4 goals and 4 assists. And then 2021, it's 3 goals, 4 assists, 5 goals in the Europa League. Look, and this year, obviously, 0 goals, 0 assists. This is
Yeah.
pre-recorded before the Leeds game. So you can really see a little bit of a drop off. Well, a little bit. It is a drop off. Sorry, it is a drop off. But so this is the real question. The question was Lucas Moura a good signing or not? Leave the Ajax moment out. Was he a good signing or not? That's the real question. Because at the end of the day, we want to look back at these players. Let's say, I don't know, flipping Bentancur. Was he a good signing or not? So far, of course he
Mm.
has been. So what are your thoughts on Lucas Moura? Has he been a good signing? It's a good servant to the club.
I think so. I think so. I loved his energy. He always gave it his all. He was always, if anything, I must have said it about 100 times. The amount of times he used to chase after that ball and sprint around, that means a lot. That means a lot. Just trying to get that ball back. And when he did have the ball, I mean, he had good feet. He was really agile on the ball, difficult to tackle. He would skim past about two, three people. Um, I still remember when we signed him from PSG. Um, yeah, like, well, even back in the day when I used to play FIFA, he was rapid on FIFA.
Yeah, of
And
course.
but no, I genuinely, jokes aside, I think he was a great player, or he's still a great player. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I think, yeah. moving towards the end, maybe not, but like it happens to all of us. But initially, I think he's been a great servant. Yes.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I think, towards the end, obviously we saw a little bit of a drop off, but in terms of someone who puts the press on, pressurizes the defense,
Yeah.
can take the ball from one end of the pitch to the other, it is Lucas Moura. I mean, yeah, sure, nowadays we can see Sonny do it here and there. Not anymore. We can see, Harry Kane do a few dribbles, but Moura, oh my days, unbelievable. What a player. Obviously not Harry Kane level, but, he was a very, very good servant. And I think something you touched on earlier was, the energy he brings to the team. I mean, I could still hear the coys in my ear. I mean, him
Yeah.
just saying that.
Love that.
Unbelievable. But look, I think the greatest moment is the Ajax moment. And do you think he should have started the final
Yes.
ahead of
I
Kane?
don't even have to think about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Hands down.
That would have
We
changed a
wouldn't
lot.
be in the final if it weren't for him. I understand Kane was injured for the semis. Yes, fair enough. But Kane obviously come back fit and he started.
How
I
fit
think
was he, though? That's the question.
well, I think either way, if he was 100%, I think it's a massive, massive injustice towards Moura. I think it's a massive slap in the face because he scored we were only in that final because of him,
Yeah.
and he didn't even start. Yeah, massive injustice. Definitely, I would have started him 100%. I think that's the least he deserved.
100% agree, 100% agree. Well, Gareth, thanks so much for joining us. Obviously, you guys go subscribe follow Spurs Using 17 on Instagram. And yeah, thanks so much for joining.